My name's Dan. I illustrate under a name called Dan Thrax Illustration, Sydney based, and realistically I guess I've been doing artwork for about 9 years kind of seriously, but I've always been able to draw sort of thing. Seriously, it kind of snowballed from playing in my first band, because I forget which came first. Either I started playing in band and got flyers from that artwork, or I drew a flyer for a Sick People show at Blackwire and then formed a band recently after that. So one or the other, it kind of snowballed at the same time. Always drawing, but got really encouraged to do graphic design instead, because that's where the money is. And it turned out that's not what I wanted to do. It was soul crushing. I used to come home from work and not want to draw, because I was spending all my time, working on a brochure for a burger shop or something. So yeah, I think when I eventually ditched the graphic design industry and went, okay, illustration's my thing, I don't care if I work as a cleaner to pay my bills, I'll do that instead, and I'm happy at that. I kind of grew up reading a lot of comics and stuff, so I think originally it was Todd McFarlane who did Spawn, Simon Bisley, who was an amazing artist. There was a few little comic book artists out there that kind of played their part in making who I am. I was also massively influenced by horror movies. Not necessarily the art style, but just the themes and the sense of humor that come along with some horror movies. So that was another big thing too. So horror movies, comic books, and then eventually stuff like Jim Phillips, who does all the Santa Cruz artwork. Obviously people like Ben Brown, Lenny Smith, Cohen. Jimmy Fatal doesn't get the credit he deserves. Also Rose from Masochist is an amazing artist. So yeah, I kind of snowballed from comic books to skate culture to punk flyers, and that's kind of where I informed my style, The first major one, where I sort of really took it seriously, threw myself head first into it, would have been the Sick People flyer that I drew, because I fucking adored that band, and I still do. And the fact that it was with Stanley Knife as well, who I fucking loved, rest in peace Drew Gates. Yeah, drawing that flyer, it was the first time someone had actually trusted me with, we love your artwork, we want you to draw a flyer for our show, that wasn't a mate. So it wasn't someone I'd previously known. They actually tracked me down on the internet. I'd seen their band, I loved their band, but they had no idea who I was. So there was that pressure to perform, because this person was someone whose art I respect, and they had no idea who I was, so I had to prove myself, So that was the first one where I definitely threw myself in head first to what I had to do. I think I was having a conversation with, I think it might have been Trent from Ed Bat Batuk. He basically pulled me up at a Total Attack one afternoon and was like, when are you going to do a horror comic? Because you obviously love it as much as I do, when are you going to do a horror comic? And that's kind of where it stemmed from, just the accessibility of Officeworks printing, and my mates just who are into the same stuff just wanted me to do it. It depends on the comic. I've done one that was complete fantasy, which was Nukesville. That was like every post-apocalyptic cliche you can think of. Zombies, mutants, robots, whatever the fuck. I threw it in there. And it, funnily enough, it emerged around the same time the pandemic did. So I was looking at the news and going, okay, there needs to be a riot in next episode. Okay, there needs to be a virus in next episode. Okay, there needs to be a robot workforce in the one after. Like, I was using that as, like, basically therapy. All the weird shit that was happening in the world at the time, I think I even threw the mouse plague in there at one point. But other comics have been very personal, like Cryclops was only ever meant to be a love letter to punk, And the one I'm working on now, Weird Pets, is definitely, it's not a love letter, it's more like pointing out the things we could be doing better. Particularly when dealing with bands who are featuring members who have been marginalised community, Yeah, so, yeah, it's a love letter to punk, but also a lesson to it. Last minute Poison Idea flyer I had to draw because it was just so daunting. They are literally the kings of punk. They are my desert island band. If I was stuck on a desert island and I had to listen to one band forever, that'd be it. Getting the opportunity to draw their flyer when they came out for the last minute show was daunting as fuck. But what I got out of it was the fact that I got to draw a Poison Idea flyer. I think I had less than 24 hours to finish it from start to finish. I'd had a very big weekend. and the show was like a Monday or a Tuesday night, but I somehow managed to pull myself together and pull the artwork together, and the show was amazing. It's always going to be one of my favourite nights, you know. But yeah, seeing that thing go from start to finish within 24 hours was pretty big. As far as social media stuff goes, just check out Dan Thrax Illustration Lives. Check out Snitch Trial. Check out the Backups. If you're into nostalgia, check out Numskull, my old band.